Everybody, welcome to Karting Kaos. Today we're going to show you how to make a rake handle exhaust. Alright, now you can get these kits from a number of different suppliers. I know Go Power Sports has a really nice kit, but being as we're budget minded all the time, and being as we're poor, I just happen to have a rake handle laying around that worked out pretty well. My welder's not the hottest in the world. It doesn't do great, so it's enough to suffice for right now, but I will go ahead and tell you right now that the welds that you see are not going to be pretty, and I do not need to hear about it. I am well aware, and you'll see my welding work improve when the quality of the tools that I'm working with improves. I didn't record the manufacturer of the exhaust and the snorkel for Little Blue, but we got the Dingo SE in here, the Fireball Dingo. We're going to go ahead and put a Stinger style exhaust on that too. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you step for step the way that I did the exhaust on Little Blue. It just so happens that I had this this piece of rake handle. Actually, it used to be a full rake handle, and it had a bend in it, and it just gave me the idea. So I started toying around, and as you can see, I left nothing but a bunch of creases in it the first time around. So I toyed around with it a little bit, and I figured out a way to get some pretty clean bends in it. I'm going to show you that, and that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and I'll make a flange, and we'll go ahead and install it and see what it sounds like. Now, in reality, I could shoot it straight down, but it's getting awful close to the carburetor. It's real close to the primer, and I don't like the look of it. I was thinking about actually putting a turn in it to where it would actually turn down toward the ground here, but the more and more I thought about it, the less and less I like the idea of putting more heat near the carburetor. So what I've settled on is doing Stinger style. Alright, so I'm taking an axle from a wheelbarrow that I had, a two-wheeled wheelbarrow that I had laying around. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the vise. About, I'm going to say I'm going to leave about 6 to 8 inches out. Alright, so I set up the torch running on this thing for a little bit. I don't want to get it red hot, because what will happen then is it'll actually leave dents on the outside when I'm pulling it. But it's hot enough. What I'm going to do now is get my pipe on. That'll work. And I'm just going to give gradual pulls. Just gradual pulls. As you can see, I'm starting to get just a slight round to it. Now, this is not a fast process. You know, easier way to do this is get a pipe bender. That's not in our budget right now. And so, I gotta work with what I have. Which is an axle tube for a two-wheeled wheelbarrow and a vise. It is what it is. And that's it. Yeah, I did kink it a little bit. It's not horrible. All I'm doing here, I'm just getting it kind of back in shape, back round. It gets oblong when you bend it the way I'm doing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and check this. Already, I can see that I'm gonna be happier with that because it's farther away from the carburetor. And honestly, I think I can live with that. Alright, so what we got now I cut a little piece of sheet metal here. It's about an eighth inch thick sheet metal. I'm going to take and get a rough idea of what I need here for the exhaust. So right now I know my height is, it's roughly there. I know my width is roughly there because that's the size I cut the piece. What I can do here, just make a couple scratches. I don't know if you can see that or not, and I know I can. And that just gives me an idea of roughly where to cut. And I'll fine tune everything later. Now I got a rough idea of the shape I need. You know, it's going to work for what I need it for. Alright, the way I'm going to get the center is I'm just going to use two straight edges. I'm going to go roughly point to point. I'm going to go roughly point to point. And then I'm going to go roughly point to point. And that's going to tell me where my center is. Alright. Now I know where that is. I'm going to get a measurement across my holes. I'm looking at 1.5 inches from this hole to this hole. I know this hole is centered already. So what I can do on my piece, I can measure 3/4 of an inch either way. And to make my life a little easier, I'm going to do that on a straight edge here. I'm going to go ahead and bolt my flange in place here. A couple of reasons. I want to make sure that my bolt holes line up like they're supposed to. I want to make sure that my center hole, my exhaust hole, lines up like it's supposed to. There you go. I'll just snug them up. And that gives me a surface so I can start checking my flange. Alright, so here's my pipe here. I think I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and give it a turn. I also want to look at this from the side. Alright. I'll put it right there. My bench grinder is not set up here. Alright, just about does it. See how it fits. I can live with that. Yep, I can definitely live with that. I know it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it will work. You know, there's a lot better kits you can get from places like GoPowersports.com. But working with $0, this is what you can do. Now, on Little Blue, I don't know if you noticed, the end is a little bit flared out right here. I didn't do that on this yet. I probably will, because I like the look of it. So I'll show you how to do that too. What you need to do is pretty much to start hammering. You want to hammer back behind the horn. The only reason I'm hammering in one spot is because I had a little bit of cattywampus in the round. So, but you can see already where it's starting to curl up. Now, if you take that and as you're hammering, slowly turn it every hit, you can start to work out a flare. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do it and show you. Now, you can see just from that little bit of hitting already, it's already starting to flare out. Alright? You can also change your angle and get more of a flare. Alright. It's starting to take shape, okay? I don't want a whole lot of flare on it, just enough to make it look like a finished edge. I think that's about all I'm looking for right there. I'll tell you what, that is one good sounding pipe.